1, 2, 1, 2, 3, McCrackenatMidnight with Brian the Bassturd. Oh, McCrackenatMidnight with Brian the Bassturd. Oh, McCrackenatMidnight with Brian the Bassturd. You're watching the show.
That was long.
Thought I'd make it a little longer this
time.
People
don't need to see Danny that badly.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Is this my cup?
Yeah. Hey, this is saying we're off the air.
Drunk cup? We're not. We're on the air.
No, let me fix this shit.
We are on the air right now. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the show. We don't really have a show planned for you tonight, but we kind of do, but not really.
Should I get a piece of paper so we can?
I got one.
Yeah, we're gonna right now. You get to see. Basically, Melodigo was practicing down here in the Monkey Palace basement up right until midnight. So we kind of had to run in, which is cool because what they're doing is clearly much more important than what we're doing.
It really is.
By a pretty significant margin. But what am I talking about? Oh yeah, we had to kind of come out and throw this thing together. So now you get to see a little bit of what we do before every show. And pretty much it's Sam grabs a piece of paper and he writes down what we're going to do tonight. Like that. That's pretty much what writing looks like. Where'd our one other viewer go?
They were like, fuck that. Oh, wait, they're back.
Oh, there they are. Hey, guy. So, in fact, we evaded detection on that part once again. So Sam is deciding what our show is going to be tonight, but I figure we'll try to jump right into what little news there is.
New shoes. New shoes.
That always comes first. Obviously, hopefully you guys watched our election coverage last week.
Oh, it was so awesome.
It was awesome, and we were having technical difficulties at the beginning, so we didn't record it. So if you weren't there, you missed it forever.
Sucked for you.
But it was actually one of the better shows we've ever done.
And the reason for that is our guest stars.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Trembles was there talking about robots.
Andrew Tremblay was there talking about robots and tech. And we had Mark Schwaller talking about environmentalism and politics.
Yeah.
So now we've pretty much decided that they are going to be our technology and political correspondents.
We have correspondents. All we need now is a sports guy and a weather person.
A weather puppy, perhaps.
I think Phil should be our sports guy. And
Agreed.
he should come on and just say shit like, oh man, Gronkowski's gonna come out there and he's gonna turn into a lion and he's gonna jump into the audience and kill people.
Yeah.
Because that's when he talks about sports, that's what he says.
Yeah. Where's the drugs?
Right here.
Here it is.
Oh, the Dr. Pepper. I thought
drugs.
The actual
What
drugs.
other drugs are there, Brian?
How regularly do we come into the Monkey Palace basement and there's just a list
there's just stuff.
Piles
out.
of it on the table.
Often. Every single time.
This is probably every time. Yeah.
So anyway, so news. Let's jump right into news so we can get that out of the way because there's nothing really going on.
The news I guess I was getting at was the election happened.
Yeah, the election happened, and because of that, our two news stories.
There's the president, which is pretty cool. There's a president.
And because of this president...
You do it.
Okay,
I don't know.
So, because of this president, a lot of people didn't vote for him. A little less than half didn't vote for him. And, because of that, which I failed to do much background research on this, and I should have, but I just read the original article and then checked out the citation and source. But basically, I don't know if this has happened in the past, but I feel it might have, just on not as great a scale. Many states, something like, I didn't count them, but something like 20 states are attempting to secede from the United States. Okay. Because Barack Obama has been re-elected president.
I'm going to stop you right there because that was what you said to me when we first read about this today. And it's misleading because on election day, me and my dad and my brother were sitting around in my parents' kitchen, and my dad and me were talking, and we said something to each other along the lines of, wouldn't it be great if this election resulted in a civil war and the Union being shattered? And we all had a good laugh about that, because that's the kind of shit we're into. But then, as me and Sam actually looked into this, the states aren't trying to secede. People in the states are trying to secede.
Right.
Or trying to get their states seceded.
Yes.
And actually, a lot of these states are not even, like, New York had a petition going around in it. So there's no way New York is trying to secede. New York is a very, very, very blue, left-wing state. But there's people there who aren't pleased, obviously, with the results of the election.
That's basically what the country would look like.
This is what the country would look like.
Gotta get closer.
It would look like that. California would be falling into the ocean, like in.
Well, no, that's like
in
blue
Escape
and red.
from LA.
It's like blue and red.
Oh, okay. I thought
that's like the divisions of the country.
I thought you meant that it would be like Escape from LA.
It would literally the country would shatter.
Yeah.
No.
The
land. War would be so terrible that we would crack the earth.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. So states aren't trying to secede. States aren't interested in that. The big one, though, the one who's gotten the most leverage,
30,000
signatures on this secession.
Oh, okay. So 37,000. So let's just clarify. There's a WhiteHouse.gov website called We the People, where basically people can propose petitions and have people sign them. And it's like, we want the Obama administration to do this, and then people can sign it. And if it gets to like something like 25,000 or something like that, then it is paid attention to. That's the like.
That's the point at which the president will read it.
Yeah, and so all of these different states are on this website. I'm looking at it right now, and I can actually I'll just show it to you. So nope, that's not working. Hang on a second. Wow, what is going on?
Ooh, any second, guys.
Any second, I swear. I'm right here. Don't worry, everyone. Blah 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 blah.
You gotta see with the internet.
Blah blah.
You guys ever been on the internet before?
It's crazy on there. It's totally crazy. Okay, where we're now. So anyway, so here's the website. And basically, you can see right here. Here's Oklahoma. Here's Utah, Wyoming. Here's peaceful grant the state of California to withdraw from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, New York, Delaware, Nevada, Pennsylvania.
And you can
Arizona,
see they pretty much
Oklahoma.
most of these petitions aren't doing too well.
No, California's got 3,000 people, which is a small fraction of the population of that place.
A minuscule fraction.
Um,
there's 400. Where's that from?
That's not a.
Oh wait,
that's not one of these.
Regulate internet pornography. Obviously, no one is interested in that.
Yeah.
At all.
South Carolina. Here's Georgia, Missouri again, Tennessee, Michigan, South Carolina again, New York again.
Wait, multiples from the same states?
There's multiples from the same
People
states.
didn't think this through very well.
No, they didn't.
And
it's not an organized group of people.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are doing this.
So now we see how this becomes really, really entertaining for me.
Yes.
Entertaining, but also kind of sad, because I'm trying to imagine the kind of person who would want to secede from the United States. I mean, I want to secede myself from the United States for lots of different reasons all the time. But someone who would want to do it because Barack Obama got reelected. Not even elected. Because maybe you're a fucking psycho who, believes that he's a communist Muslim. And that he's
communist Muslim.
And that he's going to... and that's a bad thing. And that, he's going to do whatever the hell in evil communist Muslim
He's going to
do to you.
socialize the country.
Yeah. So you might have been one of those people, but then he got elected, and he didn't socialize the country or force us to pray towards Mecca 5 times a day.
Yes.
Yeah. Which there were really legitimately people who thought things like that were going to happen. Just shockingly misinformed people, hilariously misinformed people. And so now he's been reelected. So what the hell, like, you can definitely argue that this financial situation in the country hasn't gotten better over the past 4 years. You might even be able to argue, if you were clever, that it's gotten worse. But you can't argue anymore that Barack Obama is the actual Antichrist. And yet people still are arguing that. And those are the kinds of people... No, that's me. What, you're arguing that he's the Antichrist?
No, I'm arguing that I'm the Antichrist.
I'm the... Yeah, we're the Antichrist, obviously.
Bassturd.
You've seen our logo? I walk around with ashes in my pocket.
Anyway, so these are the people that actually think that are happening. So, continue.
Well, I don't know where I am now. But anyway, I'm trying to imagine the kind of people who secede for that reason. I'm totally off track. I don't know how I got into that.
You got into it. It's the difference between why you would secede and why they would want to secede.
Yeah, I guess that's not really the point I was trying to get at.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to get at now.
Okay.
So we got to look at the type of people that are doing this, like you were saying. These misinformed, uneducated, masses of population that live in certain areas of the country that are voting on these petitions to secede from the Union simply because a man is elected as their president.
Yeah.
So
it's almost I almost really enjoy that this is happening, but then I think that there's still people on this planet who are this completely. I mean, I'm totally into partisan debate. I think I'm myself a fairly partisan guy, and I think if I was gonna argue against Barack Obama, and I often do, it's that he basically had this huge bipartisan or anti-bipartisan nonpartisan kind of agenda for the first 6 weeks of his presidency, and it wasn't working. He just fucking dropped it like a bad joke. And that's the way new school politics work. That's why that's why I loved John McCain, despite the fact that he was shacked up with a fucking lunatic. He was just such an old school guy, and he was one of the totally didn't agree with a lot of what he was doing, but he was the kind of person who was willing to say, okay, there's two kinds of people in this country. Where can we reconcile? And that doesn't happen anymore. Now there's two kinds of people in this country, and it's just, no matter who gets elected, half of the country is fucking furious about it. And
which is good. But that's the good thing. That's bipartisan. That's partisan politics.
Okay. I don't know. I don't like it. Whatever it is, it's...
So you like middle-of-the-road, nonpartisan debate. You like it when both presidents seem to be the same person.
No, I like it when a president, regardless of what kind of person they are, try to find common ground.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. In any case, so, all of this secession thing, it scares the crap out of me. And again, I don't know, I feel like this must have, but I don't know if it did happen in the past. Whether these people created these petitions. Last time he got elected. Because it's because it frightens me because why do these people, how utterly thin is their faith in America and patriotism, or how blatantly obscure is their definition of what America is, that they just are like, screw America if the person that they don't like gets elected as president. It's just these. So it's just insane.
Here's the thing: I can't really blame people. I don't like the reason they're doing it for.
Well, no, okay, but it's if literally if you were, if Mitt Romney got elected, would you have been like, this is done, Massachusetts should not be in the country anymore?
No, I might have left the country myself.
That's fine. That's totally different.
I would have seceded, but, that's, you see, and that's the thing.
And again,
I know logically that I can't speak for Massachusetts.
Well,
you know?
And Mitt Romney is a much different, that's a whole nother ballgame.
And if I lived in South Carolina, I wouldn't be able to speak for South Carolina. And I know, I live in a very conservative state, and if I didn't like it, I'd fucking leave.
Yeah.
You know? And I think back to what you said about people having maybe skewed ideas or narrow ideas of what America is. I think there's the thing that there is no universal idea of what America is anymore. And there's 3 or 4 different Americas all happening at once right now. And that's why it's like, well, fuck it. Maybe we shouldn't be a single country anymore. Maybe this experiment is over.
But hang on, now let's go back to nonpartisan debate
Yeah.
and middle of the road, center graph politics. Why can't we work towards making these 4 different Americas one America, as in making 2 presidents find common ground?
Maybe.
Let's avoid contradiction for the sake of our 2 viewers.
For the sake of our 2 viewers.
Anyway,
for me, everyone out there knows that I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about, and I just spin slander and want bad things to happen in the world. Because I'm a shitty person. Y'all know that, right? Good. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, for me, this whole situation, the reason it makes me so angry is because it all boils down to patriotism. And, I really consider myself a big patriot, and I define patriotism, because it's a word, I define patriotism as faith in what I believe the country is. And what I believe the country is what, was founded in our Constitution, and what was founded, at that time. So that's something that I really believe in, and that is country as a whole.
I have no patriotism, and I am entertained by this situation.
Why do you have no patriotism?
I'm unaligned in all senses.
It's not unaligned. Patriotism isn't alignment. Patriotism isn't love for the Democratic or Republican Party.
No.
Patriotism isn't, this is the right way to go. Patriotism is, I believe in the fact that my country can at some point exist, and I want to work towards that.
I don't know if I do.
If you lived in Canada, wouldn't you want to work towards a better Canada?
I'd probably eventually just want to leave Canada, too.
Okay. Moving on.
I'd probably just eventually want to die, and that's pretty much my life, and it's all getting too real now.
I don't believe anything you just said. Let's put it that way.
So
moving on. Barack Obama also, was reelected, and because of that, NASA has... Thankfully, NASA was waiting for that to happen so that they would be sure of, I think, some of the money that they were planning on coming in for planning on having come in for this. NASA is getting ready to reveal their plans to send people to the moon again, and hopefully build an orbiting manned satellite around the moon.
The moon will have a moon,
which is so cool. So yeah, they're planning. It's the proposed outpost called a Gateway spacecraft would have a small astronaut crew and functioning as a staging area for future missions to the moon and to Mars. So basically, this is a place where they could dock ships and build ships and store resources in order to in the future begin, building a base on the moon or sending people to Mars.
So this is basically, they're talking about building a space station, not International Space Station style space station, like Deep Space Nine type space station.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite like that.
No.
But, it's awesome.
Well,
it's
it would be like the ISS.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of different. Anyway, so
there's a lot more going on there, and it's a scale that I don't think we have seen space stations at. If this is a place for them to, did you make up build ships there? Because that's pretty serious.
No, I made up build ships there.
Okay, well then, disregard everything I just said.
Well, I mean, you could build ships. Think about it, because building ships requires the pieces to come up and then you put them together there.
I guess.
If you're in space, you can just attach them to the thing. But what's also cool about this is a big part of NASA's plan with all of the future space missions and things like that is to land astronauts on near-Earth asteroids, which is another really cool thing. To study what they're really made of, to study what they've brought with them from across space. And things like that. And of course, they're saying that these things aren't going to happen until the mid-20s.
The roaring 20s.
Yeah, the mid.
That's 10 years away.
That's really,
that's a measly 10 years
freaking
away.
Countries in Europe are planning to send people to Mars in like 2023 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what were you going to say?
This whole thing leaves me with two questions. The first of which is rhetorical. What would NASA have done had Obama not been reelected? Just sucked it up.
Gotten repossessed.
And second of all, what if NASA is now a private organization? They're still getting government funding, though. How does that work? Is it like an endowment?
Well, no, it's not a private organization. They're space exploration. There's I don't remember. I had this figured out.
NASA is still a government organization?
I think so. Yes? I can't remember. I had this figured out, but I don't remember what.
Well, I'm glad that NASA is getting money. I'm always glad when NASA gets money.
Yeah.
Me and Sam, if you watch this show, you know that we hate on a lot of shit, especially me. But if there's anything that we consistently report on that we like a lot, it's outer space.
It's outer space, man.
And people who want to go there.
I want to go there. I want to go to outer space. I'll be the first person to go to Mars. No worries. I'll volunteer.
We should do a show.
I'm sure.
Olympus Mons.
We should. The top of Olympus Mons. Let's put a webcam at the bottom, and we'll be at the top of Olympus Mons, just shouting as loud as we can. So that's the majority of our show, basically.
Okay, good night, everybody.
So we're gonna play a video. We got a few videos to play for you.
We got a bunch of videos.
This first one we're gonna play is a really cool thing that I found today, made by PBS, which makes this whole thing even cooler. Here is auto-tuned Mr. Rogers.
Hi, neighbor. Welcome again to this neighborhood. I'd like to show you something. You know what this is? Maybe if I press this button. This is a cassette player with a little cassette in here, and there's nothing written on it, so we'll just have to play it to see what it is. Do you ever imagine things? Are they scary things? Do you ever imagine things? Things you'd like to have? Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark and wonder what they were? Did you ever pretend about things like that before? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Imagine every person that you see is somewhat different from every other person in the world. Some can do some things, some can do others. Did you ever think of the many things you've learned to do? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Did you feel like going like that? Let's give the fish some food. Mr. McFeely, I didn't order any whistles. That's what they call a slide whistle. Did you feel like going like that? There are so many things to learn about in this world, and so many people who can help us learn, and so many people who can help us learn. Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? In the garden of your mind. You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. In the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was very cool. He gets crazy eye when he points to his head.
Yeah.
Garden of your mind. Damn good samples.
Yeah. Very, very, very cool. I like the whistle part.
Oh, the whistle part's great. Also, he calls the delivery man Mr. McFeely. Now, in real life, I believe Mr. Rogers was, what's his first name?
Steve Rogers.
Steve McFeely Rogers. He went by Reverend McFeely. Was it?
No, it's not. Steve is not his first name. Steve Rogers is Captain America.
Okay, look that up because his name was actually McFeely, which is an unfortunate name.
Fred McFeely Rogers.
Yeah, an unfortunate name for a reverend. But that's a different story. He's the man. I love Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he's very, very cool.
So cool.
And that was very cool too. Produced by PBS, made by PBS as it's whatever, an advertisement
deliberately
for PBS.
On purpose.
So good job PBS for actually staying up to date with pop culture. Jim Lehrer is, not the flagship show. Apparently, it's your children's programming.
Let's see.
Yes, absolutely going to do that right now.
Which one you should do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got more videos to show you guys, and we got some crazy computer shit.
We're gonna watch this later because there's no reason for us to watch this now because I can't just play it. It'll change your mind about Mr. Rogers. Do I want to watch this?
I don't want my mind changed about Mr. Rogers, and I bet it won't. I bet I'll like it. Because again, as previously stated, I am a bad person. But yeah, we can't just show YouTube videos through screen share as we've discovered in the past because it'll fuck itself.
Because my computer can't do that.
In the brain.
Sorry.
It'll blow its...
Wow, that's enough. Anyway, so anyway, we're gonna show. Brian's gonna show something now. That's very cool that he found.
Periodically, I've shown stuff actually directly from. I like showing stuff that's processing programs.
What's processing?
Processing. Again, if you watch the show very often, it's processing is a coding language. A coding program that basically builds these little applets that run on Java. And it's just a really simple coding language, and you can do just unbelievable amounts of stuff with it. So it's a freeware application that just lets people make really, really cool stuff. And you can write very practical programs that run machines, and they'll run little controllers. It communicates with Arduino. It actually uses an almost identical language to Arduino. And so you can, build things that control mechanisms and things like that. But people also use it for just weird art projects and
that run in browser.
Or as applets on a computer. And it's something I've experimented with a lot. And the processing website has this awesome archive of projects that they've put up. And I like to just dip in there every now and then. Show you guys some of my favorites out of there. So we're going to look at, what's it called?
ChronoDraw.
I forgot the name of my own thing. So there's several different versions of it here. Hopefully this is going to work. Oh yeah, there it goes. So I guess we'll start from the most simple one. Rather than going in chronological order. So basically, you got this little thing, and when you click and drag on this screen, it goes whoop, and it draws a line. But it doesn't just draw it once; it keeps drawing it over and over again. So you keep seeing it. And then if I do another one, it like keeps doing it again and again. So you can make these repeating shapes. And you can do this shit. And there's a few different things you can do. If you hold down F, it gives you the big, thick one. So you guys get how this works. Now, we were also messing around with these little things. How do these work?
You hold down spacebar, and you can move this guy. And the red one, there's a red one and a blue one.
This one's only got the red one.
This one only has the red one because it's only one square. Everything with multiple squares has a blue one as well. Everything with grid has the blue one as well. But anyway, the red one controls the speed at which they buffer. So basically the way this is working, each one is built on a different speed of buffering. So 40 frames, or there's like 80 frames or 300 frames or 1,000 frames or something like that.
It's different frame rates, basically.
Yeah, it's basically different frame rates.
Which equates to just a different speed.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And so you can slow it down to see like each one of those.
So you could draw something a little bit slower and then.
Yeah.
And anyway, this is the most simple, and we'll show you what we're talking about with the other ones. Let's do this one next. This is basically a whole bunch of those same squares all put together. So let's drop these. And now, but it's showing you like what's happening in different frames over time. So, like, this is the first frame, this is the second frame, this is the third frame, this is the fourth frame, and what's happening in each one of those frames at that point. So we're actually seeing like the whole animation laid out in front of us, basically. And we can keep drawing little things in these boxes, and they'll do it, but we can also just draw big friggin' things across it. And now we can play around once again. How does that work?
Spacebar. So now we can play around with the speed again, so you can actually see these things slowed down or sped way, way up. So it's like that. And then the blue one here actually allows us to change the format of the boxes.
So now they're showing all the same thing?
They're showing all the same thing according to like one individual box. So you can see like it's probably like one of these ones here. As it happens, we see one of the ones in the middle, and we see that one frame flashing over and over, or we can make it run backwards. So that's what that one does, and it also splits it up.
It does all kinds of, and then you can make this longer too. Doesn't that give you more shit? No. Okay. So
I haven't quite figured the blue one out yet exactly how it works, but it's very cool. So then after that,
well, let's check out this one first. This one's just a little bit different.
So let's just do something simple.
Yeah, just to show them what it looks like. Go completely apeshit on this one. And then mess around with the blue one.
So there's that, and then the blue one. See, it'll change the like format.
Yeah, we haven't really quite figured out how that one works yet, but it's whatever's happening. It's mad cool.
Very cool to play with. I hope you guys are seeing this as well as we are, because it's very smooth on my computer, but it may not play correctly.
That's one of the cool things about the way processing works. It's not like a video where you have your frame rate jumping around and stuff. Yeah, they say it is a little choppy. I can actually see it here. But check it out yourself, and just go to processing.org. If you go to exhibition and then page 4, this is at the top of page 4. And while you're looking at it, check out the other stuff that's up there too, because it's all awesome.
It is very, very cool.
And yeah, that's one of the cool things actually about, because it's getting choppy because of our broadcast.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about processing is that is basically redrawing the same image over and over and over again, so it doesn't get choppy like a GIF or a video would.
Yeah.
And you can get it up to 1,000 frames a second. 400 frames a second is like normal, for processing. So it's
very
super
cool.
smooth vector stuff. Oh, it's vector too, because you're not drawing. When you draw in processing, it's not like you take a pen and do it. Everything is programmed. Every stroke is coded in. There's no actual drawing into the program. Everything's coded, so it's all vector graphics. Fun, fun, fun.
Fun in the sun. So we're going to show another video now. This one is one we talked, I think I mentioned last week maybe at some point. Anyway, this is a creepy video. It's really gross, and I'll explain it once you finish viewing it.
Yeah,
Watch.
just look at it first.
Watch now. Blech! That was gross. Pants!
You know what those were? Everybody?
Those were ants.
They were ants. Yes.
Ants. Yeah, so, chemtrails. You clearly know about this. That was a video that was going around YouTube and then was kind of explained by a scientist or whoever, somebody who knew what was going on.
An ant-man.
An ant-man.
An entomologist.
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 Or an etymologist, perhaps.
He's one of the ants named Ed.
No, entomologist.
I know what an entomologist is. I used to want to be an entomologist when I was a little kid.
Gross.
I don't think I could even pronounce entomologist at the time, but I tried.
Yeah, so those ants were following each other's pheromone trails and caught in a pheromone trail sexy loop spiral of death.
It was like they were all just trying to hump each other.
It's exactly what it was. And it did look like a galaxy. And whenever I watch that, I can only imagine putting my face or my hand or my foot in it, and it just like being completely enveloped, and it's like this mossy like carpet of ants. It just looks so freaking disgusting, like a bowl of ants. So anyway, that was that.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that too. Can you tell how well planned this show is?
Dan Deacon in town tomorrow night.
Wait, where's he playing? In town is in Boston, right? Because I don't know where the hell you are.
Paradise.
He's at the Wait, tomorrow? Tuesday? I'm going to that shit. At the Paradise?
I don't know who Dan
the
Deacon
lounge.
is.
Dan Deacon? Oh man, Dan Deacon. Okay, Dan Deacon's this weird cat. He makes electronic music that really like kind of bounces between avant-garde and like dance music. And he does all these weird, like, as he's DJing his own stuff, he'll like get the crowd to do all this weird, like, these activities. He gets everyone to put their hands up and spiral in circles and make things, and it's really, really freaking cool. His shows are unbelievably cool, and he's kind of like almost, I think, kind of like Moby, where it's like electronic music, but he's almost got that kind of like singer-songwriter vibe to him.
Yeah,
but like way, way, way cooler than Moby.
Yeah.
And it's this really like this 8-bit synth, like really, really hard dance music. But then it'll like turn around. So he basically tours with like him DJing his weird shit, but then like a full rhythm section with like 9 timpani players and stuff, and like a marimba. He's unbelievably cool, and I've missed him every time he comes around. He played at the church like 2 years ago, and I missed him. He played at Mass Art 3 times since I've lived in like right next to Mass Art, or been there all day at least. And No, maybe only 2 times. But regardless, I keep missing him, and I'm going to that tomorrow. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I unfortunately will not be going to that. I will be in Portland, Maine.
Portland.
At 9 o'clock.
A big Occupy supporter too, Dan Deacon. He plays really small places. You'd be surprised. Again, I said he played the church recently, and he plays at Mass Art like every time he comes here. And the place where the shows usually go down at Mass Art is actually pretty big.
In their auditorium?
No, it's not in the auditorium. There's the auditorium, but the place where I'm sure they would have put him is like the fucking room over on the side, like by the welding shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Boston's just not his town, but I've seen him in huge ballrooms in New York, footage of him and stuff. But he always gets put in pretty small places in Boston. I guess he's just not. He just doesn't book huge places in this town. But I am going. I am so going. What else we got tonight, Sam, to do? Hey, movies. What have we heard about movies? I actually we'll lead right into movies from this. Y'all know Phil Mitchell, our new guy who we recently tonight declared our new sports analyst.
Hope you're watching.
Hope you're watching, Phil, because you're our sports analyst.
You're definitely not, though.
He's been on the show. He's one of our favorite guys, and he apparently caught on to the fact that everyone was judging him for posting on Facebook like every 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
And
I know I was.
I definitely was. And so he actually made a page. Why don't you pull it up real quick?
Oh yeah, okay.
That's just he just says like, this is just, instead of posting on my wall, I'm just gonna put my random ass thoughts onto this page. And it's right here. We say it's called Phil's Food for Thought. And I think he just did this today. I know a couple hours ago, he only had like 1 or 2 likes, and now he's up to 19.
19!
So he's doing pretty good. He's a gregarious dude, and he kind of gets along with everybody. So, but the first thing he put up, this is new here.
Well, David Petraeus, you don't need to click on that. David Petraeus is a general who's gone through sex scandals, getting in trouble for it, and stuff like that. That's pretty much all.
Wow, he just keeps putting stuff up. He's really going pretty heavy on this. The first thing he saw, though, he put up, though, was this little review of Skyfall that he did. Phil is assistant manager of produce at Foodies in Duxbury, is really just kind of a side gig. He's actually a professional writer. He wrote a review of Skyfall. But anyway, he said it was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. I was hearing it was pretty good, and I really freaking want to see it.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing. This movie, like, snuck up on me a little bit. It didn't get hugely promoted. I mean, it did, but not as much as you think, like, another friggin' Daniel Craig. I saw there was a Rolling Stone article about it, I know, but it's like they really didn't start booking it super hard until, like, the past couple weeks.
Maybe you just didn't pay attention.
Maybe. I don't know. Not as much as the first two. I think they were...
I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with Bond sort of continuing in its, the past 2 movies, they've been, just as actiony and big as any other movie, but they, since Pierce Brosnan, they've lost that sort of cheesy, ultra Bondy theme style, you know what I mean? Like that ridiculous kind of wow, spectacle. And turned into just these really hardcore, gritty action movies that are much more sort of in the same vein as the Bourne movies, sort of this actual good action movie rather than just an action film.
And they're getting more serial. I look too.
Yeah, definitely. Which
I
really
know
like.
if Skyfall has kept with that. Again, I haven't seen it, and I haven't. Literally, all I've heard about it is Daniel Craig jumping out of the plane with the Queen and Phil's interview. That's all I know about Skyfall. So I don't know if it keeps with that same theme more, or if it's more like the past two movies or what. But I really, really, really want to see it.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to see a movie in months.
I'm super excited for it. So that's that. Skyfall. But also, in other movie news, Wreck-It Ralph also has everybody, everything I've read about it is everybody saying just like, wow, that movie was freaking awesome. The newest animated film from was it DreamWorks?
Yeah.
DreamWorks. With John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman and that chick from that show. But everybody has been saying that that's like super good, so I want to see that too now, kind of. But in other movie news,
what are you fucking pointing?
You got a thing. The thing.
Oh yeah, my thing. I keep updating you guys on the Angry Video Game Nerd movie that got shot. I guess last summer they were shooting it, and maybe not quite that long ago, but they finally released a trailer. Yeah, I'm a huge James Rolfe fan. Now, I'm going to show this to you guys. I'm not going to say anything about it beforehand, and then we'll discuss afterwards.
Briefly, hopefully.
Yeah. No, well...
Well, I kid, sort of. Here we go.
Yeah, well, let's watch it.
You should review E.T. No.
They give the game to one person to design in 5 weeks. That's bullshit.
See, that's exactly what you say in the video.
You can't even be pissed off and have it mean anything anymore.
It's the worst game, but it's the greatest game story ever told.
I heard that Atari recalled all of the cartridges and buried them somewhere in the middle of the desert because the game was so bad.
I mean, when gamers found out E.T. was buried in that landfill, it became forever buried in our conscious minds.
I have to save the fans.
We're gonna find that landfill and prove that there's nothing under there. Maybe then everybody can forget about this game.
Yeah! How do you like the new Nerdmobile, boys? Yeah?
Great.
Love it?
Out here in the New Mexico desert, something allegedly happened many years ago.
Yeah, we're talking E.T.
It sounds like they're looking for extraterrestrials.
You know, we're only a couple hours away from Roswell, so...
Oh, yeah, isn't that where the UFO crashed?
Yes, in 1947.
Oh, for the love of Pong, one hoax at a time.
After them, McButtard! Get going!
Oh, you listen to me, numbnuts. This'll put a second anus where your head used to be, goddammit!
I was a rising star in their aerodynamics program.
Faster!
Yeah!
No, faster!
Come on, man. Don't break the code. Nerds before birds.
Something tells me you're not just some gamer, but the gamer.
Are you crazy? Do you have any clue where Area 51 even is?
Between Area 50 and 52?
I see now that your greatest weakness is not the hate you have for that game, but the love you have for your fans.
Well, you ever seen me play Top Gun? Not a pretty sight.
What the hell are all these fucking boxes doing here?
Holy shit!
What the hell is that? Where's my fucking arm?
Speed up, speed down.
Come on, man. Haven't you had enough?
The nerd's work is never done.
So what do you think about that, nerd?
Wow, that was something.
There you go.
Brian, explain
well,
why people should take any interest in this.
If you've watched any of the James... Okay, let me explain who James Rolfe is, in case you don't know. James Rolfe is just a really funny guy who loves making movies, even though he's not very good at it. And that's what all his charm is about. And his most popular character is he's got a series of game reviews that he does of old games, and specifically really, really bad games. That he does the character called the Angry Video Game Nerd. and that's obviously what the movie's about. And he's been doing it for years and years, and he's it's gotten really popular online. And so when this came out, no one expected this to be a great movie. It's like made by just this like weird, goofy dude who like makes these shitty movies in his basement, but just like they're awful, but they're just
so many Wilhelms.
They're made with just like scads of love. And but now I gotta say, the thing about this trailer, which I think is even for what it is, misrepresenting it, because it's a really bad trailer. Like, it's really badly put together. It's too long and there's too much information in it, and it's just clunky and badly cut together. And I think it is probably misrepresenting what we're looking at a little bit. But I'm glad it's out, and I'm glad after all this. I mean, I've been following this from day one, from when he first announced it, you know, a year ago, or way more than a year ago, almost 2 years ago, probably. And I've been following it that whole time, and I'm really excited. But it's a shitty trailer. But at the same time, it's really bad. It's an awful trailer. But at the same time, I'm trying to recut it in my mind, and it actually makes me more excited for the movie ultimately, because I think it looks like, had it been a good trailer, it would have made the movie. It actually makes it kind of look better than I thought it was going to be. But not into this being a good movie. Right? It's a salute, you know, to the fans who have been following. This guy literally makes his living now making these goofy ass videos online. So he kind of made this movie just as like a big shout out to all his fans, and it's great. So you should all keep up with it. And if you don't know him, go to cinemassacre.com, as in like cinema and massacre, and check out some of the Angry Video Game Nerd movies videos. They're hysterical. They're awesome.
If you take the M off of massacre, it spells assacre.
Assacre, yes.
Yeah, and let's just on that same subject, let's just do it now. McCracken at Midnight, the movie, due out April 2014.
April, you just made that up?
Yeah.
Okay. April 2014, McCracken at Midnight, the movie. Feature film about us going to the internet and battling Tipper Gore, maybe. We haven't made up our minds yet. But we're working on it.
Ass acre. An acre of ass. Well done. So anyway, hey, it's 12:57, and even though we started a little late, I think our 2 viewers can stand us getting out a little bit early. So
we gotta sing the comments.
We're gonna sing the comments. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna bail. What the fuck?
Yeah, you know, we're just gonna get the hell out of here right now. No, yeah, we're gonna sing the comments.
So
so
we're gonna start from somewhere up here
to the beginning.
Yeah, we're going straight to the beginning. 70901, just a second, we share our space with a band and a dude who sleeps here when his room stinks too bad, so we get held up sometime. People wanting to secede from the Union because presidents they didn't like was elected. That's never happened before. Brian is chaotic neutral, Sam is lawful good. No, you got me right, but I think Sam is more neutral good, or somewhere in between. Put this into YouTube when you get the chance. Watch, enjoy. It'll change your mind about Mr. Rogers. It's a little choppy. Ants following one another's chemtrails. Looked like a galaxy. Dan Deacon in town tomorrow night. The Paradise Lounge. The third moon of Jupiter 8. Dan Deacon, the Dan Deacon. Huh? I'm assuming the Dan Deacon in the lounge, though you'd think you'd get the ballroom. Big Occupy supporter too. Gregarious Goodwood. Don't sport, I'm seeing it Thursday. Oh my, James Roll vomits, pea soup, and Wilhelm screams. I hope my last breath is a Wilhelm scream. Ha ha, nice. Ass acre, I smell a new porn, an acre of ass. Ing, sing, bang, bling, ding, sting, sing, for ah!
All right, good one. Hey everybody, two of you. Thanks for watching McCrackenat Midnight with Brian the Bassturd.
You guys are the best.
You guys rock, and why I am still alive.
Hey, check this out. Me and Sam would really like. Our goal in life is to have our actual job be McCrackenat Midnight. I just want to let you guys know that that is our goal. That to do this full time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna happen.
Oh, that's all you were gonna say?
Yeah.
I was gonna add to that. You can help by spreading the word.
You can help by spreading the word, but I assume you already do that.
I have a feeling that no one does that because they're afraid of what their friends will think of them if they expose them to this.
Alienate yourself from society. Risk alienating yourself.
Just
from
get
society,
people.
rather.
Just get people to join the cult. That's all you need to do. It's just like getting people to join a cult.
You guys are all gonna commit suicide for us, right? When the asteroid comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Yep.
night.
Good night, everyone.